When a human does psychedelic drugs, hypothetically and theoretically, possibly, potentially, as an example, similar to someone who does crack and methamphetamine, who enjoys heroin and acid and LSD and ecstasy, mushrooms and psilocybin. Fill their neurons with hallucinations and information received visually and auditorily from their ears and their eyes. Now, and these neurons use synapses to connect other neurons. And they begin to live in a world they say no longer exists. A matrix, a mathematical construct filled with logic they can't ever understand. But they do feel every twitch, twist, and turn near their body. Their hormones, their blood has a color of a mood. In other words, and they use their emotion to intensify what they see in their head and feel in their skull. Filmmakers make moving images to describe this horrific way to live in a civilization now. The neurons, with all of the information about these artistic, sacred, geometric fractals and physics equations, in paintings, in photographs and videos, and Picasso skill, are as important as a beer during a coronavirus pandemic. But tragically, disrupting and terrifying for anyone who studies consciousness and cancer at Johns Hopkins University, where ketamine patients who receive doses of prescribed medications listen to classical music and finally are explained consciousness compassionately and not loudly and noisily and violently. These hallucinations used as stimulation and reward for those who fund gangs and mafias and cartels. Use time waiting, similar to a snake in Arizona called a diamondback. And in Washington State, a cougar. And then pouncing and destroying and killing and murdering those who stand in their way when their dominance has been declared now. These humans trust their consciousness has to do with their visions, their magic, their witchcraft, their sorcery, and their folk psychology. They spend small amounts of time in a world. They live in their mind. They call people freaks. They scream and yell at a person who has difficulty with their thoughts and thinking caused by schizophrenia. And use a spectrum talked about in psychiatric medicine as disorders involving Asperger's and ADD, autism, ADHD, induced by their drug addiction and disagreement. There are humans next door. There are neighbors next door. And I am alive and not your friend and not your lover and not your buddy. I am a resident of Caroline W. Apartments, where I rent a studio apartment and not a room in a house, a hotel, where you, the bully who never stops harassing, practices your evil, vile, nasty, shamanic, devil, Satan worshiping habit now.